I finished my fall semester and I'm still alive. Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hafeezat. I'm a current events, lifestyle, and blogger, YouTuber, Instagrammer, social media influencer, and college student. Soon to be college graduate and one more semester and something else, which I'm going to be getting into. So, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about end of fall semester updates and just how well did I do in keeping my sanity this semester. It's going to be divided into 4 parts, you know, how I started off the semester, where I'm now, how do I feel, and takeaways from the fall and what I hope for the spring. So I have my iPad here, you know the deal. I'm going to be looking at it just for notes and whatnot. Let's get this started. So I started the fall semester off with 18 credits, and I was nervous, but I was excited. I was like, okay, you know, we're doing this online thing. It's no problem. I'm going to be in my cute little studio room in Morgan. I'm going to be able to see my friends and my boyfriend, and I'm going to all these things I was excited about. I was just really excited to be back on campus because of like the privilege and the independence that it gave me. Within 2 days, I dropped 1 class. I dropped 1 class because it was an asynchronous class. And listen, like, I don't mind doing asynchronous work. It's harder for me just because I'm really bad at keeping myself accountable, which is why I like class meetings. So I know that at some point I'm gonna have to face my professor and he's gonna be like, you know, what gives? But this professor was like, I'm gonna assign assignments 3 times a week and they're going to require you to do a significant amount of work. And they were due every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. First of all, I'm not submitting work on Saturdays. At least not long work, because some work I'll submit on Saturdays, but not this. And 2, we're not even meeting at all, sir. Like, so we have to like watch videos and lectures and stuff like on YouTube or whatever the case may be, do voice threads, submit discussion posts, all of this stuff in an asynchronous class. I was like, no can do. I dropped that class within 2 days, or like within the week. I was done. So I was like, okay, now I'm down to 15 credits. Fine. So the way that Temple works, and I'm not sure if other universities have this, but we have certain classes that can be either done for half of the semester or for the full semester. So we have 7A, 7B courses, or a full 14-week course. And it's called 7A, 7B for the first 7 weeks or the last 7 weeks of the semester. So I had a bunch of full courses, full term courses, and then I had one 7A course. And this course only met every other Friday and Saturday. And this is my urban organizing course. So I was like, okay, this is great. I did not know how I felt initially about, you know, doing a Saturday course, because I was like, oh gosh, like I'm learning from like 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. on a Saturday when I could be doing a bunch of other things. But we're in a pandemic. I was not doing anything else but going to class. If I wasn't going to class, then I was seeing my boyfriend. If I wasn't seeing my boyfriend, then I was sleeping or watching YouTube videos. Like, I wasn't doing much. So the Saturday wasn't really wasted on me. And I also really liked this professor. Shout out to Jason if you ever watched this video. Hey, Jason. But I loved this class and I loved the professor. So I wasn't mad doing it. And once it was done by beginning of October. I had the rest of the semester to focus on my last couple of classes. So that was that. So that's how I started the semester. But where am I now? As you can tell by the title, I withdrew from a class. I withdrew from a class literally the week before Thanksgiving break. Literally 2 weeks before finals week started, because I could not do this class. I'm not gonna get into it too much, but the work was just really not doable given the circumstances that I was under during this pandemic type season. I'm stressed, I'm overworked, I'm tired, and the last thing I wanted to do was do convoluted take-home exams that took hours for people to complete, that required groupthink efforts in order to complete things that we still did together and we still ended up getting varying grades. The first exam in this class, I got a C. this exam that came up that prompted me to withdraw from the class, I couldn't even do it without crying because I did not understand a word of what was being asked. I barely read the material because the material that we had to read for class was really long and the words were just confusing and they were too much, and I can't sit down and concentrate and read an academic journal for too long right now. Like, I don't have an attention span. My attention span is shot. It's like, it's gone, it's done. So I had to do all of that, and it was really, really overwhelming. And I knew I wasn't going to turn it in. And even when I asked for an extension and I got an extension, I still wasn't able to turn it in. I even had a friend help me out, like literally helping me out with like an answers, everything like that. I still couldn't turn it in. So I was like, I'm going to fail this class, because not only did I get a C on the first exam, I had a couple of missing assignments from this class too. So those are a couple of zeros right there. And they were like pass-fail courses or whatever, like pass-fail assignments and such. There was like incomplete or complete, and they didn't have much of a percentage, but things add up. And each exam was worth 20% of our grade. So if I bombed this one, there was no way for me to, like, you know, pass the class anyways. And I would have done credit, no credit, but I didn't want to finish the course. I wanted to get out of the course, because if I was still in the course, I wouldn't have gone to any of the remaining classes, because I knew I was going to fail regardless. So I called my dad and I'm crying and I'm like, Dad, what are you gonna do if, like, you know, I fail a class? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, this class and I'm not doing well. And he was like, just withdraw from the class. Like, he just said it like that. I was like, are you sure? He's like, if you need to withdraw from this class, if you don't think you're gonna do well, just withdraw from the class. Put your time and efforts into other classes. Finish the semester the best you can, and then we'll move and we'll figure that out in the future. So that's what I did. I withdrew from my class. This is the first W I have ever had that I don't like, because it is not a win, it is a withdrawal, and it's gonna be on my transcript. And I don't know how I feel about it yet, because I have never ever failed a class in my entire life. I am a high overachiever, and this really was kind of like, I felt like a failure when I had to do this, because I've never done it before, and I felt so bad that, like, oh my god, now I have to figure out how am I going to get the credits back so I can graduate on time and I don't have to cost my parents extra money, yada yada yada. It was a lot. And also, I'm applying to grad school. Like, I applied to grad school. I applied to one program because there's no other programs that I really liked besides this one. And I emailed them before and I was like, listen, if I have like a credit, no credit like thing on my transcript, how's that going to impact me? And they told me, like, you know, we're keeping in mind the pandemic and such like that, and if that's the only thing that you have on your transcript and you have grades for everything else, like, you'll be straight. And I was like, okay, bet, perfect. Because honestly, if schools are not giving students grace right now when it comes to their grades, don't go to that school. If a school is not going to be flexible and understanding of the fact that we're in a pandemic and that things are harder for us, like, just because we're doing online school doesn't mean that it's easier. Don't go to that school. Just don't go to that school, because you don't want to be in a school that's not going to prioritize your well-being and your happiness and everything like that. I mean, no school does that. All of them, they just want money. But at least go to a school that pretends that they're going to try, you know, their best. So there's that. So I withdrew from the class. When you're watching this, I have already submitted, like, my final paper. So I'm done. So I'm just like, now I can enjoy the rest of my break and just create content and make money and all those things for the next couple of weeks before we have to come back for school. I'm really happy with myself though, because despite all the setbacks that happened, I did end up passing the remaining of my classes with good grades. I didn't get anything lower than a B, as far as I know. So I'm okay with that. Like, final grades aren't in yet, but I know that I didn't get anything lower than a B minus. So that's all that matters. It's gonna tank my GPA a little bit.
Just wanna pop in here quickly and say, as I'm watching this and I'm sad and everything like that, I actually ended the semester very well. I'm not gonna share my grades exactly, but my GPA did not take a tank like I thought it was, and I'm gonna be okay. So yay, we're good.
But at this point, I'm trying to practice grace and flexibility because, like I said, we're in a pandemic. my GPA tanks right now, it's for good reason. It's not because I'm a bad student or because I don't care anymore. I mean, I don't care anymore, but at the same time, you know, grades are arbitrary and they're not gonna matter in the next couple of years. So what do I care? I care a lot though, a little bit, because again, overachiever. But we're working on that. We're working on her. We're working on her. I was gonna do a winter gen ed, which meant that technically I wouldn't have had a winter break because I would have started class literally the day after the last day of finals. And this was so I would be able to still graduate within 3 years. But I spoke to my dad about it, and we were just chatting, and I was expressing to him, you know, how I'm stressed and everything like that right now. And he's like, listen, stop pushing yourself. Breathe. And I was like, okay. And he was like, okay, you can take classes over the summer. Because you can still take the class over the summer and they'll still, like, you know, let you walk and get your degree and stuff like in May. Because Temple's doing this thing where it's like, if you take less than 8 credits over the summer, or you need to take less than 8 credits over the summer after your graduation date, they'll still give you like your diploma. They'll still say like your conferred date is May 2021. So he was like, you're still going to be graduating early. Like, there's no problem with it. Just take a class or 2, push it off to the summer so you have more room, because I also have to do an internship this semester. I already interned for one place, but I consider it more a part-time job and less than an internship now. And I part-time job for another place, but I need an internship for my graduation requirements for my major. And it requires like 15 hours or so a week for like 10 to 15 weeks or so, because they require so many hours for this internship. So he was like, knowing that you have this internship and everything like that, it's best for you to open up more time in your schedule for your classes, so that way when you come from internship and stuff, you still have more time to do your schoolwork and stuff without scrambling and feeling overwhelmed. It's like, wow, Dad, you're spitting facts. So I'm gonna not be graduating technically May 20. I mean, I'm graduating May 2021. But I'm still going to be taking classes after May. And I haven't decided if I want to do the summer 1 or summer 2 yet. But they're going to be 2 gen eds. I just pushed them off to this to the summer. And I'm finishing my requirements for my major. And 1 more gen ed, I think. And an elective this spring semester. So that's where I am now. How do I feel, though? So I wrote these words. I feel tired. I feel a bit unsettled. I feel dejected. I feel relieved, sad, and disappointed. So out of all of these words, only one of them is positive. I am relieved because I am done. I'm so pooped. I'm so tired. All of those other adjectives that I said, I feel these ways because I feel unsettled, because I feel like I could have done more to kind of treat myself better during this semester and do things that I didn't need to do, or not do things that I didn't need to do this semester. I could have done more of that. I feel a bit dejected because it's like, well, not dejected, more so like disappointed in myself, because I, you know, had to withdraw from a class, and I felt like a bit of a loser a little bit. But then I was like, Hafeezat, you're not a loser. You have to do what's best for you in order to, like, you know, keep your sanity. So I have been working on that, focusing on that, getting better at that. I'm a bit sad because, again, like, this semester did not go the way that I planned. And I'm also a bit sad because of, like, the professors that I had. I'm not gonna have them again. And I'm this close to graduating, and it's like kind of hitting me like, oh my god, I'm graduating soon. Where am I gonna end up next? Who am I gonna be next? All of those things, because all I've known is student life since I was a child, and now I'm gonna be having to go into the real world in like a year or 2. Like, it's a lot. So those are my feelings right now about how this semester went. I'm also really mad. I'm mad for a couple of reasons. I'm mad because Temple is not well equipped to deal with this semester. I'm mad because Temple only allowed students to choose 1 course for credit, no credit, whereas in the spring, I think they allowed us to do, if not all of our courses, up to 3 courses. They only allowed us to do 1 course. Who's to say I'm just struggling in 1 course? What if I'm struggling in all of my courses? What if I want to do credit, no credit for all of my courses? I should be given that option. For them to just say, oh, here's one measly opportunity to, like, you know, do that, like, that was rude. I'm also mad at Temple professors, some professors that I had and some professors that other people have had, because they were not well equipped to adapt to this semester. Not only did they not adapt their coursework to fit within this semester, they were just very non-flexible. They were rude. They did not take into consideration people's feelings and what they were dealing with when it came to this semester. So I'm also mad about that. But yes, I'm mad. And I'm going to dive more into this once I graduate. I'm going to make a Temple video because some things need to be said. Do I regret coming to Temple? No. Do I wish Temple was way better? Yes. And I'm not going to dive into it more right now. Just be on the lookout for a video in a couple of months. So takeaways from fall and what's happening in the spring. Online school is not for me. It's just not. And I can't wait to be done with it. I need brick and mortar in-person classes. I can't do online because I value rest and I value peace a lot. And when I'm in a peaceful place like my bedroom, I'm going to sleep. I've slept through so many classes this semester while still on Zoom. Like, it's not good. It's not helping with my productivity at all. It's very hard for me to get out of bed most days. My spring schedule is wide open, so I'm very happy about that, but the wide openness is for internship and or a part-time job that I can, like, figure out how to maneuver into my internship requirements. But that's why my schedule is wide open. But I'm really happy because none of my classes start earlier than 11, and I've been valuing my sleep a lot these past couple of months, so I'm excited for that. And I'm also excited for the fact that some days I only have one class. So it's a beautiful thing to have, especially during this pandemic. I'm taking my internship class is technically just internship. We do have a class, but we don't meet. So that's one asynchronous class. And I'm taking another asynchronous class, which is a gen ed, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just taking those. It's a gen ed. And I'm just taking this gen ed that's asynchronous. It's the same subject as the last one that I dropped in the beginning of the semester, but it's with a different professor. And I've heard really good things about this professor from my friends. And Rate My Professor gave him a 5 out of 5, 5 stars, all of those things, 100%. So I'm really looking forward to his class. And hopefully it's just easy to do and it's easier on me. So that way I don't feel bad for the fact that I'm not going into, like, a class meeting. Another thing that I took away from this semester, again, is that not everybody should teach. Or at least not everybody's equipped to teach online. And I'm not going to go into that because I think it speaks for itself. Some professors should not be professors, period. They just shouldn't. Skip class, it does not matter. I've skipped class a ton of times this semester. Not only is attendance not being graded this semester, probably not next semester either, but if you want to sleep, sleep. They're still getting paid. Your presence does not do much. Yes, you might miss some things, but I would prioritize my sleep and my well-being over going to class and being sad. Because if I'm in class and I'm sad and I'm tired, I'm not paying attention. I'm not at my best. So I would rather be at my best and go to class than not be at my best and be in class. But that's just me. But I'm saying, like, skip. It does not matter to me. It does not matter to me. One thing I also took from this semester is that you need to really hold tight onto your good professors, because I had this one professor who was amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Professor Kaiser, I love you. Like, he was the most flexible and caring professor that I had this semester, because he would always pay attention to what we were dealing with. He would always ask us how we're doing, gave us space to truly share our grievances and everything like that. And for that, I am eternally grateful to him. Great man. You know, if you're ever at Temple and you ever need to take a class in the communication and social influence department, take a class with Professor Kaiser. You're gonna love it. And finally, shit changes. We gotta adapt though. This semester has taught me that so hard. I didn't think I was going to end up with a W on my transcript. I didn't think I was going to end up dropping 2 classes this semester. But things happen. I had to adapt. I didn't like it. I don't like change. It's something that I struggle with because it gets me rattled and it does not help with my anxiety and my lack of control that I have over certain things. But the fact of the matter is, I don't control everything. And I really need to learn how to be a bit more okay with that. And this is like, you know, a call to action to you all. Be okay with the fact that things change and stuff happens, because part of the human experience is adapting and being adaptable and flexible. If you're not able to do that, you're gonna have a tougher time during these times. So that's my end of the semester update. Tell me about your semesters. Tell me how y'all are feeling. Have you finished your semester? When did you finish? When are you going back to classes? We're going back the day after Martin Luther King Day. They canceled our spring break, but I'm gonna make my own spring break. So, because you can't keep me in class for 5 months straight with no break.
Another update, so Temple actually decided that in order to compensate for our lack of a spring semester, they were going to give us 1 day in February off and 1 day in March off. So they gave us glorified extended weekends, like not even 3 days in a row. Like, they call these like times to breathe and whatnot. I don't know. All I know is that they're dumb and I'm mad.
That's not how this works. So I'm gonna take a week off and they're gonna take it. That's what's gonna happen. But yeah, tell me about your semesters, how they went, how it's going. If you want to talk more in depth, my DMs are wide open. I love talking with people and just like, you know, giving advice and all those things, even though I need to take my advice a bit more. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video if it resonated with you, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.